It's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope, and then you bang your head on the ring apron. That's when you feel like a big dope, 'cause they're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh no, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you reach out for that hot tag, then you go ahead and make your own comeback. That's when you should quit wrestling, and you're better off rolling a thumbtack. So it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Hey, it's me, Bob. What do you say? What do you know? Tip the wheel, try the waitress, some weather having house tricks, how's the kids? Whistling Dixie, waxing philosophical, shooting a breeze, chewing a fat, jokers, cracking wise, Weisenheimers on the up and up, hooligans on the straight and narrow, dames are flipping our lids, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a scorch out there, and the Brooklyn Dodgers win a series, 23 skidoo, bam bam bam. It's a podcast. Oh, what are we talking about today, Bob Squad? The April 5th, that's right, the thing I just watched 3 seconds ago. The April 5th, 2021, Hulu edition. Hulu edition. Who knew? It's Hulu. Not limited enough commercial interruption for Monday Night Raw. We open the show with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, and then Freddie Blassie waves a cane, and Trish Stratus points, and The Undertaker has a coat, and then they show some newer people, and there's hip hop, and that's what happens. That's how the show opens. Drew McIntyre comes out to summon the Thundercats, and he has a sword. And he has a kilt and his wrestling boots, but also like his upper body is in street clothes and like a jacket and a shirt. I don't understand why he's half. Which is he doing right now? Anyway, we recap him and Corbin. Baron Corbin from SmackDown. It's a show on another network. I don't have time to explain it. Is it on another network? Is SmackDown on USA? SmackDown's on Fox. Oh, okay. Well, the hell with it. From another network. Baron Corbin, he attacked him last week, and it was a whole big thing. Drew McIntyre. His promos get better all the time. I look forward to his promos now. It's impassioned. He talks about his mother and her chemo and the sacrifice he made, and he explains to the people the difference between him and Lashley. It both took them, 16 or 17 years each to win the thing, but he explained the difference that he sacrificed this and Lashley got to go home and rest up and this, that, and the other thing. And then Bobby Lashley and MVP come in, and MVP has some words, and then Baron Corbin shows up, and we're going to do the Corbin-Drew match right now. And no, we're not, because Corbin is wearing a suit. I don't know why. Everyone's got a suit, I think, over on SmackDown. Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn wear wacky suits, and Corbin's got a wacky suit too. There's a thing on SmackDown with wacky suits. I don't know what they're doing over there on Fox, but everyone has a wacky suit. So we set up that later Drew McIntyre is going to wrestle Corbin, but it's unclear to me whether Drew's Mania title shot is on the line or if Corbin just gets money or a title shot at Lashley for taking Drew out. I don't understand. It was never really, I didn't get it. I don't understand things. I'm not hip with the kids. The kids with the hula hoops and the moon pies. You give them a nickel, they see the movie picture of a root beer float, roller skate to Make Out Mountain and Dad's Corvette. I don't understand the kids anymore, what the kids do. Okay. Bad Bunny shows up in his bad Bugatti with Damian Priest, so they kept saying 3.6. They had to add, they couldn't say 3 or 4 or 3.5. They had to make it 0.6, which makes me laugh later on. But Bad Bunny and Priest in a $3.6 million car. Cheer this man because he has a $3.6 million car, is what they're saying to you. Capitalism! Anyway, so they arrive. We have a Braun is Strowman is backstage walking. There's tons of extras behind Braun. They didn't give a shit. That would never happen back in the Attitude Era day. Who cares? Attitude Era mostly sucked anyway. A bunch of good main eventers and everything else was thank God it's over. I need to go outside for a little bit. Maybe I should pause this. Now let's finish this. Uh, Braun Strowman's walking backstage. Congratulations. He's not chewing gum at the same time because that would have taken 15 takes. You see, Shane? That's a joke. Okay, anyway. Long recap of stupid goddamn Braun Strowman, a stupid goddamn Shane McMahon feud. Stupid goddamn Braun Strowman talks in a cage. I fast forwarded that. Sorry. He talked. He said stupid goddamn Braun Strowman things. Stupid goddamn Shane McMahon shows up to tell stupid goddamn Braun Strowman that he's going to wrestle. Braun is going to wrestle Jackson Riker and Elias in a differently abled adults match, 2-on-1. But we raised the cage because, why not? We get rid of the thing that might be interesting. And, alright, you don't want to show a cage right before a cage of Mania. I get it, but then why? Who cares? Braun has to be in a cage because we're all too stupid to follow it. They had to bring the cage just for the promo. It's very silly. Anyway, there's a handicap match. Differently able adults match, excuse me. Stupid goddamn Braun Strowman wins and he power slams them both. He pins them both. And he tried to get Jackson Riker drag him over, but he accidentally dragged Riker's face into Elias's crotch. Then he had to adjust it because it would have looked silly, and it still looked silly anyway. The whole thing is preposterous. Glad it was this was all over in one segment. Miz and Morrison show up with paint cans. Here we go. And they tell, I don't know if it was a blonde lady they told. It probably was. Let's just assume they told the blonde lady they're going to paint the car. So they vandalize the $3.6 million Bugatti with a lot of paint. And Bugatti, get away from watching the show. Okay, so I think Bad Bunny comes back and he's without Priest and he takes his shades off and he's very upset. And then Miz and Morrison double team Bunny and they beat the crap out of him. The two of them need to attack a non wrestler. But I thought I didn't hate this. It sounds like I'm going to shit on it. I'm not. The paint thing was brief, and that really became a trick to lure Bunny out. And the two of them, rather than just have paint dumped on Miz and Morrison or slime or some stupid thing on the same show, what they did was Miz and Morrison then beat up Bad Bunny and got like extra, like actual. These guys are dicks. They vandalized this guy's property, and a lot of viewers may not give a shit about a or not even believe that's really Bunny's car. Did they rent it? I don't know. I know Bunny's loaded, but would they would he do that to his car for the thing? I don't know. I don't know anything about the car. I don't care. But I'm just saying for the story, yeah, that was good. Make people angry, and it was brief. It wasn't any longer than it needed to be. So, because the paint thing could have been so much more drawn out than it was. But there we go. We recap Asuka and Rhea smacking a table on Asuka's head. Rhea and Asuka wrestled Team Nia and the other one, which is how they've presented it. Oh, Nia was completely immobile, never left her feet. And I realized the bigger wrestlers shouldn't be leaving their feet all the time, but in the last 20 years they do. So, Shayna was in there. So Rhea turns on Asuka. Rhea shoves Asuka off the buckles and makes her hit the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring. And then Rhea gives her a big move on the outside of some sort. I forgot what it was. She did something to her on the outside. So there we go. So Rhea turns on Asuka. So now Rhea is completely the heel this week. She's, she volunteers Asuka for this match. She turns on Asuka. She throws Asuka in, and Shayna hits Asuka with a knee to the face and pins her. Okay, so there you go. Team Nia wins. This is there. Any other team could have had this role. It didn't need to be Nia and Shayna on both shows, which is really the Nia show, the Nia team. So last week, during the contract, Asuka's all cocky and Rhea's the one not being taken seriously. So Asuka's playing a heel role, and she's not turning heel. That's the thing. And I probably said, and I would have said last week at Mania, Asuka needs to take the heel role, not turn heel. It's different. Asuka needs to slaughter Rhea and just feed for that comeback and then get all the heat and give something Rhea to fight back from. But now Rhea's the asshole here, and more so than Asuka was, because Asuka was cocky, but Rhea does all the assaults. So what? So who am I supposed to cheer for? Who am I supposed to boo here? I guess now we're supposed to cheer for Asuka if we leave it here. But we're clearly going to go with Rhea. Do we want Rhea as a? Is there plan for Rhea to be top bad guy in a Raw Women's division? I hope not. That's a terrible idea. She just got there. People want to cheer her. They like her. I don't understand. I'm baffled by the Rhea Asuka thing. Usually, babyface matches I don't care for. I like them when they're done sparingly and have a big fight feel. Rhea and Asuka needed a big fight feel. I really think you could have done one of two things. Rhea could have wrestled someone singles with Asuka on commentary, and we could have seen on Raw what Rhea can do. We could have kind of not blow the whole load, but show a couple of really impressive things from Rhea, and done some kind of like brief physicality with the two of them. Or Asuka and Rhea could just do the tag team, and they could fight Nia and Shayna, or some other tag team, Mandy and Dana or somebody, and just one up each other and clash into each other, and maybe some kind of DQ or count out, and the two champion and challenger for Mania just end up brawling and something happens. I don't know. Don't do the errant kick or the errant move. Although the non-important team they're fighting ducks and one hits the other, and then we've done that to death. Okay. I loved it when Hogan Warrior did it with Genius and Perfect, but now it's time to stop doing that forever and ever and ever. Or Piper backs into someone, and yeah. Enough about that. Yeah, I'm just confused. I don't understand it. The differently abled adults match and the tag team for no reason match that we just saw. Each of those matches get 571 stars. Okay, how about that? There we go. What happens next? We have a recap of the Hurt Business and Bobby all breaking up, which is hard to do. MVP's backstage. This was good. MVP is backed into a wall by Cedric and Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric threatens him a bit, and MVP talks some trash, but he backs down because he's clearly outnumbered by these guys. And MVP talks to a blonde lady, and then Lashley shows up to yell at MVP and the blonde lady to get upset. And then we have a package, nice big lengthy throbbing veiny package in your face of Cedric and what's his face? Cedric fights Lashley. This was fun. MVP is on commentary, which is always good. He does a really good job of telling the story that they want to tell. Cedric, what happens? Well, Cedric, he stays competitive enough with Lashley, but not too competitive. He really just gets advantages with Shelton being there to distract. Shelton and Cedric jump him up top, which was a good excuse as to why Cedric would have the advantage at all early on. But Lashley was super dominant here, like he should have been. Hits a bunch of big moves and crazy, wacky spine busters and whatnot on Cedric. Does the full Nelson, ring the bell, 624 stars. Shelton runs in, breaks up the full Nelson. Shelton gets full Nelson, hurt locked, whatever, and there he goes. Lashley leaves them both, which is what should have happened. Just feed him. Most people are not big on breaking up the Hurt Business so early. I was surprised. It was a bit early, but I think any tool they needed to make Lashley look as dominant as possible was probably a good idea. So, and Lashley leaves him. Lashley needs to leave the bodies laying. Reminds me of the build to Hogan and Sid at Mania 8 was I think better than the match, but Sid was just leaving bodies laying for what felt like months. It was probably a couple of weeks. And yeah, it reminded me of that a bit. Just so many muscles, the power is just so scary. Like, what are you gonna do against this monster? Oh, finally, Damian Priest makes it a tag match for Mania. Thank God. I really didn't want his first Mania, being on the sidelines watching Bad Bunny wrestle Miz, and it was kind of silly. And I hope that was the whole plan all along. But either way, I'm glad they did that. Bad Bunny talks. This was not bad. English is not his first language. I get it. It doesn't matter. I don't care about that. He spoke with passion. I was more than able to follow him. He did repeat himself and ramble for a bit, probably nerves. It's a hard thing to do, to be speaking on live TV. Probably nervous as all hell. So, good job. Yes, it was too long, I think, but maybe they also could have allotted him for too long of time too. I don't know how long it was, but it felt twice as long as it needed to be. He rambled and repeated himself, and I don't know if there was any way Priest or someone else could have given him the Iggy or something. There was just it was hard. And again, English is not his first language, but he made the point. He showed why. It seems to me the majority of wrestling fans are actually pretty cool with him. Like even when if you're not a Bad Bunny music fan, I'm not. I don't know anything about it, but he shows that he respects everybody there. So and that he's a fan. So I think most fans have been cool enough to give him a bit of a pass, and I do let it let it go. I know we like wrestlers on our wrestling TV and all that, but and I know they don't tell you on TV. I guess he's been at training at the performance center, they've been on, which I'm good. They shouldn't be telling you that on TV, but just it helps. So yeah, a little long and rambling, but I believed him, so that was good. And Miz and Morrison are on a screen, and they get into a black SUV, and we just go to the main event. Drew McIntyre wrestles Baron Corbin, MVP on commentary again, which is really helpful. Again, I was still unclear. Does Corbin beat Drew and get Drew's title shot at Lashley, or does Corbin get a money reward for taking out Drew, so Drew can't wrestle at Mania, or does what is Corbin? I don't understand. Or was Drew's title shot on the line against Corbin? Because the announcers and MVP seem to be telling two different stories, and it was very confusing. Anyway, MVP stands up to yell at Corbin. This was long. It was a little plotting, but I don't think it's the right opponent for Drew. I think visually it just looks like Drew shouldn't have that much trouble going through Corbin. I know Corbin's a tough guy, but I'm just saying visually I look at Drew and he's tan and he's muscular and he's got those pecs and he's just the right amount of chest hair and he's just so manly and he glistens in the right light. If you, okay, okay. Everybody grow up. So, so anyway, MVP throws the cane to Corbin. Corbin swings it. Drew ducks. Claymore, big kick in the face. 1, 2, 3. Match gets 3,000 stars. It was all right. And Drew wins, and Lashley walks to the ramp. Invisible wall. He can't go any further than down the ramp. And stare down. We go off the air, and that is what happens with the April 5th, 2021 WWE RAW on Hulu. Limited commercial interruption. $7.99 a month. All your favorite TV and movies plus original programming. Hulu, it's TV in the palm of your hand. It's the hardest part of the ring. This week's going to be crazy. It is Tuesday as I record this in the afternoon in California time. The Hall of Fame is coming up soon. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to watch all this. I have Peacock now. I haven't even tested it. I think I'm going to test it. Maybe I'll test it today. So for 3 hours, I guess, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. my time, the Hall of Fame will be on. Maybe I'll just leave it on, and I can do my workout for at least one of those 3 hours. I'm not working out for that long, kids. And take a shower in between two of them, and wash my balls. You know what I mean? Just wash my balls to the Hall of Fame. That'll be nice. Watching JBL and Not Batista and Molly Holly and the Bella Twins and Eric Bischoff and Kane and the Great Khali and the British Bulldog. Just watch them all get inducted into the Hall of Fame with clean balls. That would be nice. The NWO, clean balls for life. That's a T-shirt. Copyright. Fine. Hardest part of the clean balls for life. Okay. I thank you both for listening. I don't want to do the song because you're going to get sick of it this week if you're still listening to this Bob Squad, but it is much appreciated. What's going on in, oh, let's do something else. Rather than sorry for sniffling in the microphone. In the toy world, I got Triclops and Ninjor of the Masters of the Universe origin lines. So Skeletor is now I have three good guys and three bad guys. Well, three good guys. I have He-Man, Roboto, and Zodak, but I also have Battle Cat. So the bad guys are still outnumbered. I have not seen a Panther in any stores or whatever. I know they'll probably do a flocked one. I may get the unflocked one anyway in the next month or so, just because I feel bad because no one's gonna want to buy it because they're probably waiting for the flocked Panther. So I feel like I'm not buying the toy as much as I'm rescuing it. It's how I justify that. Who knows? And I may do a Sunbob style thing with if I get a few He-Man characters, and in the coming months, not anytime soon. I want to do a couple of more Sunbobs. I started one. I'm about 4 minutes into another Sunbob. Um, so I want to do a couple more. If you don't mind, guys, I'll talk about that for a second. If those of you in the Bob Squad who were kind enough to watch Frogs in Winter, the full G.I. Joe movie, that takes place, as you see in the titles, in '89, mostly, a little '88, mostly '89. And the Sunbob ones all take place before the movie, just generally in the '80s. Anytime '83 to '87, you can kind of pick them. I guess chronologically, Robot O, the most recent one, would be the earliest one. The one I'm doing here is takes place shortly after Robot O, because Zartan is captured in Robot O, and Zartan is still a prisoner at the beginning of this one. So I guess you could say it's after that one. And Convenience Fee, the electricity bill one, would be sometime after that. So that's what we're going for. Actually, I don't know if Zartan could even be in between, but still, yeah. So that's the way I'm doing the Sunbobs. What was my point of bringing that up? Oh yes, in the Sunbob canon. Originally, there I wanted to redo. I have my own versions of everything. I can never recapture or redo or make Arise Serpentor Arise any better than it was. And I don't have a Mindbender or a Sergeant Slaughter anyway, so I could never really bother to pull it off, and I would never pull it off as well. So I'm just going to leave that as is. But I want to redo my own Sunbob canon of eventually, not this upcoming episode, but shortly after, how Serpentor kind of got excommunicated a bit from Cobra and ended up basically being Predator in the jungle in Frogs in Winter. How did Serpentor get from Cobra Emperor to there? That's what I really want to focus on, and that might be a two-parter too. And how does Vice President Savage become the President of the United States or whatever? I'm not able to do the election. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll be right back. Hang on a second. Okay, I am back. I think I'm recording again. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm back. I don't mean sorry. Sorry that I am back. I'm sorry. Period. I am back. Period. Those are two individual sentences. There's no reason to tell you I went anywhere because who cares? It wouldn't matter. It's time is distorted. When you pause on a podcast, and yeah, whatever. What was I saying? Ah, yes. So I'm very excited to deliver. It'll be a few weeks before I get that other Sunbob ready. My action scenes are becoming way too complex for my own abilities, but I like overshooting a bit. And as far as the Masters of the Universe, if I do one of those episodes, I don't honestly know all the characters in the episodes really all that well. I would probably do a uh, a non speaking, like 2 or 3 or 4 minute just an action smash 'em up fight, trying to use their gimmicks and abilities as best as I possibly can is most likely what I would do with the He-Man Origins. Just give you one big smash 'em up, because I am liking this line. It's growing on me. I don't even know He-Man of the big three, the He-Man, Transformers, Joe of the '80s. The He-Man is the one I know the least about. Um, I was born in '80, so really, like, I had some '85 I really inherited most of my brother's He-Mans, and I had a few '86 guys. Like I had Roboto. I call him Roboto now because it has that episode. I had Roboto and Zordak in the Fright Zone, and like the He-Man I had, I think I had like a battle armor, and by the time I was 5, like my dog had already chewed up the feet on like our original Skeletor and He-Man or whatever. So like I couldn't really play with them. They didn't stand, and I didn't. Um, and I didn't understand. I was still a little too young to understand all the guys' gimmicks all that well. I didn't quite get it. I just thought they were cool and it was creepy looking. And Castle Grayskull, which I think we had, um, was just so creepy to me. It was just I just stared at it. I didn't get what it was. I didn't know anything about power swords or any of that. I didn't know who Man at Arms was, and I didn't understand what his role was or why. I knew He Man had muscles, and that was that. And we had some cool vehicles too. Like, I think most of that though was inherited that from my brother who was older, and he still is older. That's how time works. So yeah, so I am enjoying revisiting a little bit of the past, and they look terrific, by the way. The darn things just look great. So I think what I would do is maybe over the next coming months, if if I got the Origins Grayskull, then I would use making a video as an excuse to get the Origins Grayskull. I'm not 100% certain I'm doing that. And somebody said online, I don't want to say I thought of this idea because but I don't know who did think. Someone else said Grayskull does look like a great Destro's castle, so that would be cool too. Just keep using it. Why not? Are you gonna? I mean, are you gonna complain if you saw Grayskull show up and the Joes, because especially because of the scale, the Joes having fun climbing up and down and getting thrown off of different parts of Grayskull? I don't think anyone's going to be mad at me for that one, huh? That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Space is becoming a problem. I may have to get rid of the bed, and we'll be fine. Uh, you know what? Let's talk about it here. Godzilla versus Kong. Yes. Okay. This is the wrestling match I really wanted to talk about. Arguably the greatest film ever made. I don't say that about just any movie. Yes, I do. If you follow me on Twitter, yes, I do. I say that literally about every movie I see. I also just saw the Snyder Justice League cut, arguably the greatest film ever made. See, I just said it twice with the same film. This was terrific. This was absolutely terrific. Um, I see a lot of people online getting like smug and making their Godzilla Kong. I like the part where they just hug the jokes and all these silly. They're all making the same jokes, a bunch of New York comedy hacks. But they don't get it. Anything with verses in the title wasn't designed to change your life. Not everything needs to have meaning. Sometimes stuff can just be fun. Remember pro wrestling? Stuff can just be fun because it's fun to watch. We like to see Hogan slay the big dragon. We like to see The Undertaker slay the big dragon. We like to see the dastardly Ric Flair cheat and be cocky and have the common man Dusty Rhodes give the cocky playboy Ric Flair what's coming to him. We like to see that. It makes us happy to see that. We like to see two of our favorite pop culture heroes and Batman and Superman fight until we saw it, and that's another story. But but we like to see our two iconic monsters, Americans being Kong and Godzilla. I don't think Godzilla is just Japan's anymore. Godzilla is an iconic monster, and everyone in America knows who and what Godzilla is. I mean, yes, he's Japanese. Toho, obviously. We know this. But I'm just saying, we all know who Godzilla is. We all know who Kong is. We want to see the mega powers explode, if you will, and we did. I do. I'm gonna. I do see a lot of guys. Apparently, some folks online, and whenever you see an article that says people are complaining on Twitter, they found three idiot Twitter complaints, and then they go, look at these awful men, look at them because you found three assholes. Well, it's not hard to look on Twitter and find three assholes and call that a story. Okay, they pulled the shenanigans with the Wonder League private viewing, and of course Ghostbusters 2016 and Captain Marvel and this other thing. They find five assholes in a sea of a million people and go, look at these man-child incels, and shut up, you're lying. Anyway, with that said, there are a few tweets, I guess, that they're mad that Millie Bobby Brown, the girl from Stranger Things, is in this thing, and her role and her team is kind of not really necessary. They say I'm gonna actually lean on the woker side, but not for the same reasons. We did need Millie and her two friends, the conspiracy theory podcast guy and the dopey male friend who doesn't know anything and is fat and worthless. We did need that threesome. No, 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 no. We did need that trio. Okay, easy. Um, oh, spoilers. If you, yes, spoilers. Okay, I don't care. Yes, Mecha Godzilla. If you don't know, is the goddamn surprise at the end. Okay, so everyone knows this. If you're listening to this far, for the both of you who are listening to this, if you care, you've seen the movie already. If you cared about Kong versus Godzilla, then you saw it already. Okay. Yeah, we needed the three of them to get us to Mecha Godzilla. I think we did. Because then why would there just be a camera just randomly showing the bad corporate guys making Mecha Godzilla? We needed to get there somehow. And Millie Bobby Brown, of course. There are a few nitpicky movie moments where I rolled my eyes and groaned. First of all, of course, she's the young female, so she's super smart and brave and never wrong and never apologizes and has no arc and doesn't learn anything, doesn't get better, it doesn't yeah, there's no story there. She just starts and ends awesome and is awesome in the middle. Like my same problems with Captain Marvel, but she's such a small part of this movie. Millie Bobby Brown is. I love that 2/3 of her name is Bobby Brown, but she's. I guess that's my friend Jesse said. I guess that's her prerogative, and since the actress I think is under 18, no, ain't nobody humping around in this movie. Okay, that's not. Nor do I want to see that. That's a child. That's gross. I'm just saying. I was trying to think of another Bobby Brown song, and that's what I came up with. Do not air this. I will. I'm lazy to edit, and no one's listening. So my point is, we needed her. Her and family boring drama nonsense did not bog the movie down at all. Not like it did in King of the Monsters. Uh, you do need humans in the monster movies, folks. I know that it's like putting too much ice cream in a bowl. It's all delicious and amazing until you realize you have way too much, and now you can't eat any of it. You can't have too many. You can't have a movie just monsters and no characters. Someone has to tell you what's going on, and you need people to react to it as they would in real life, so that the audience can feel how they're supposed to feel in real life. Uh, the problem is when a boring human drama has nothing to do with the monsters. It's not like we have this human drama and involved as they're reacting to monsters. It felt like King of the Monsters was about this stupid woman and her daughter who accept no responsibility for anything and make monsters and wake them up and yada yada yada. And that's what the movie was about. And oh, and hey, but there were four awesome monsters in it, so and plenty of them to see. So it didn't ruin it for me. It just became, we'll just deal with this for a bit. Nah, and the Godzilla 2014 had Elizabeth Olsen was sexually attractive and the kick-ass guy. Yeah, they were dragging. That's a whole other story. I don't want to talk about Godzilla 2014. Godzilla and Kong. You see plenty of Godzilla and Kong. Again, spoilers. You've seen it. Kong never really beats Godzilla. I think Godzilla wins twice in my opinion, and that's fine. Godzilla, it's Austin and Brett at Mania 13. Kong stays over in defeat. Okay, because he took it to Godzilla like no one else, and I think he does the final tearing of Mechagodzilla to shreds. I think he does, because Godzilla charges the axe, and each agree to go their separate ways and dominate their own respective Raw and SmackDown brands, if you will, and they each go their own ways and they beat the hell out of each other. Yes, of course, Kong had to be a bigger size to fight Godzilla. We all know this, and they accounted for it. Well, he's grown. We only saw him once in the '70s in this universe, so he's going to get bigger and stronger and this, that, and the other thing. I think they put some gray in his hair too, like but still, Godzilla should still be kicking his ass, but Kong should take it to him more than anyone's taken it to Godzilla before. And I do realize that the Muto and Ghidorah damn near killed Godzilla, but as far as moving Godzilla and just punching him in the face, which is I don't know why that's so satisfying because it's so human. There's something about it, but it's so primal at the same time. It makes sense. There's another movie thing that made me roll my eyes. A couple of things like okay, the first dude we meet is the scientist guy who's out of work. And of course, he's a dopey male, and then everyone says every dude has to be both dumb and evil or evil in the thing. And I'm like, okay, I see what we're doing here. But more so that we have to have the Transformers Michael Bay style inexplicable fight in Hong Kong, so we can make more money. Guess where? So okay, I get it. But yeah, I rolled my more than anything else. I had to roll my eyes, and they're gonna fight in Hong Kong. Like, oh motherfucker, you can't. Just like Doctor Strange and all the Transformers movies, and I'm probably leaving out a whole bunch. I'm not sure where. I don't know. It's just so obvious now. Everybody knows it. Like we know what you're doing. Like, I know you got to make money in China, but to have the whole thing in Hong Kong is so silly. They did take advantage. Whoever the director was, I forget. I think it was some indie dude. Um, Different lighting was nice. We got to see the purples and greens, all the neons. We didn't see, and this hurt King of the Monsters in my opinion. This more darkness, more rain, or this that. And like you can't see what the hell is going on. Takes you a second or two to figure out which monster is which. It was a little dark, but the lights were helping. I like that. Um, Skull Island did a good job too. Most of those fights were daytime, and Kong didn't look anything like the monsters he was fighting in that. So visually, just in a second, I could be like, "Oh, that's Kong. That's Skullcrawler guy, and that's Brie Larson before she hated men." Okay, no, I'm only kidding. She always hated men. Ah, too much, Bob. I need to go outside and get some sun. Okay. Godzilla vs Kong arguably the greatest film ever made. It's fun. Go watch it. The 2 hours, it feels like an hour. It's so good. And just there's no meaning. They don't bother with the tired old monster movie trope. Monster, oh, excuse me, man is the real monster. I know, but we've been beating that to death forever and ever and ever. It was creative and clever and poignant when the first Godzilla did it, and several other Godzillas for that matter, and whatever other monster movies they've used this cliche on and on and on. They didn't even bother with it this time. They just went, "Yep, this big evil tech corporate guy is a dick," and his death by Mechagodzilla was wonderful and spooky. I love that he can't see the big monster behind him behind the glass, and the other characters can, and they don't even care about the evil guy's speech. This is my evil plan. I will tell it to the good guys word for word, and hope they don't escape and tell people. They didn't even bother listening to that. They just got out of the place, and Mechagodzilla takes the swipe. They acknowledged the missing Ghidorah head from the end credits of King of the Monsters. Tied that up, kind of shoehorned it in, maybe a little, in my opinion, but good. They acknowledged it. Like, here you go. If you're wondering, that's what that's for. I thought it looked way cooler as the skull than it did as just the gross dead head with the flies around it. I just thought it was less gross and just more intimidating than anything else. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed I enjoyed this. I'm gonna rewatch it. I got HBO Go Max just for to watch Godzilla, and I ended up staying for the Snyder cut. God help me. I hope I remember to cancel HBO Go Max. I really don't want to pay whatever the hell it is, 15 a month for this shit. But I want to see some movies. Can you blame me? I don't know. That is the hardest part of the ring. I'll see you. I have no idea. I'm not doing one of these for the Hall of Fame. Maybe I'll try to do a combo one for the two NXTs. I don't know. I'm gonna try. Just stay tuned. Thank you, Bob Squad. I'm gonna sign off the thing.